Hello movie lovers, Bob for Bob's Movie Review here, and I'd like to bring you my review of The Batman. This one was sent to me for review by Warner Brothers. If you get a chance to check this one out, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. I will include more information with the link to purchase one down in the description. So this is the new Batman called The Batman, and it stars Robert Pattinson as Batman, and I know a lot of people were unhappy with this casting, and I kind of really got to thinking about like the people who have played Batman over the years: Adam West, Michael Keaton, George Clooney. To me, none of those guys really seem like you would think of them as Batman. They don't really have the look, you know, more of a kind of a muscular, strong jaw. You know, these guys I wouldn't think of as Batman. Do I think they're bad as Batman? No. Do I think Michael Keaton is great as Batman? Yes. Does he look anything like you would expect him to look? No. So I don't think like there's any reason to dislike Robert Pattinson in this role just based off his look. I feel like, you know, Batman is more about the person, the character, and not necessarily how he looks. Now, this movie is a lot darker and more realistic, and I feel like kind of like maybe it's kind of like in the lines of the new Joker movie, where it's more based in reality, you know, not the bright neon colors and flashy outfits and crazy stunts. It's definitely more grounded in reality. It feels a lot more realistic, except for this one scene which I feel really takes away from the realism of the movie, where Batman is like parachuting down and he like bounces off an overpass and like a bus or a car and rolls down the road and stuff, and then just gets up and limps away. I'm like, I'm pretty sure you're gonna be pretty messed up after that. And so that scene kind of really took away from the movie, I think. So this movie is more of a detective mystery kind of movie where Batman is the detective. Now, the villain is the Riddler, and he doesn't have a crazy green or purple costume. There's no question marks all over it. He has this really, really weird all black leather costume, this really cheap leather mask, and it looks horrible. It is not at all what you would imagine it would look like. Terrible looking. But I got to thinking about it, and I think it's more of the character in the movie. He doesn't have money. He's not privileged. He doesn't have like an unlimited budget to make a costume. He has to do with what he can get. And so he has just this kind of plain, cheap leather costume that, yes, in the comic book world looks bad, but it's what he could afford. And I feel like that's kind of what they were going for. The same thing with Catwoman. I don't know if they ever actually called her Catwoman. I can't remember. But she doesn't really have any kind of like, you know, Michelle Pfeiffer cat leather costume. She just wears like a ski mask and black clothes, and you know, it's definitely simpler and more like what people could get together and not make these fancy elaborate costumes. In this movie, the Riddler, he's trying to expose the corruption in Gotham and the Waynes and some other people, and he's trying to expose that everybody is on the take, everybody is bad, and he's kind of killing these people and leaving these riddles behind for Batman to find, and Batman has to solve the riddles to kind of figure out what his next step is, and the Riddler's kind of playing him along the way too. And so this movie's real slow. It's real slow. 3 hours long. I would have really liked it to be at least a half hour shorter myself. But I thought it was a really good movie. I really enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I would. I was very surprised. I don't feel like it's necessarily like a great Batman movie. Like for me personally, you know, the Tim Burton movies and kind of that colorful, a little silly, kind of crazy, a lot of fighting, a lot of stunts. And there's not a lot of fighting or stunts in this. There is some, but just not a lot of it. And I feel like that just kind of over the top is what I think of it as Batman. Although there's been lots of different iterations of Batman, and so they want to represent more of them. But to me, like when I think of Batman, I want something a little sillier. You know, they kind of got the crazy costume, the crazy gadgets, and all this kind of stuff. But that's just me personally. But I didn't let that influence me too much on the movie, because I did enjoy the movie quite a bit. I thought there was some great cinematography as well in this one. Some really great scenes, great use of color. I just thought this was a great movie overall. I wish it had been a little shorter. I wish there had been a little more action. But I give this one 3.5 out of 5. I definitely enjoyed this one, guys. If you haven't already, be sure to check this one out. And if you haven't already, subscribe for more videos, check the videos, and I'll see you guys next time.